Today we're going to try something a little bit different. I wanted to go for a walk and talk, but unfortunately it's really windy outside, so we're in the car and we're going to chat for a little while. In this video, I want to talk a little bit about what I would do if I had to start over with no money, a full-time job, and I was looking for an online business, a side hustle to start. The first thing that I would do, before I do that, let me introduce myself. If you don't know, my name's Alston Godbolt, and I've been on internet marketing for, 10 years now. And I have sold digital products, physical products, affiliate marketing, memberships. I've done a little bit of everything. I have promoted everything from stand mixers to sound bars, online courses, web hosting, security cameras, a little bit of everything. I have sold products through Amazon. As I mentioned, I've sold my own digital products, one-on-one coaching. I've done a little bit of everything over my time. And so I feel like I'm in a pretty good position to communicate what you should do if you were just getting started. A little bit more about me. When I first got started, we were having twins. We're on the verge of having twins. And I was working full-time. At the time, I was actually going to school as well, but I was working at higher education, and then eventually I became a software developer. So I know a lot about having limited time. The first thing that I would do, and probably the most important thing that I do, if you can see where I am, comment where you think I am. The first thing that I would do is identify something I want to talk about. And that something is going to be something that I enjoy, hobbies, interests, passions, something that I could do for the next 5 or 10 years. And the way that I would go about it is I would make a list. I'd make a list of things that I was interested in. For example, basketball, NBA basketball more specifically. I try and be as specific as possible. Video games, I like Madden. At the time, they didn't have college football. I played a little bit of Call of Duty, so those types of games. I was interested in learning more about raising twins and newborns and going to school. What I would do if I were you is the first thing is write down all the stuff that you're interested in. Even if you're remotely interested, if you did a Google search on that thing at one point, write it down. Okay? Write down as much as you can. Take 10 or 15 minutes and write down everything that you can think of. And the reason is any of those will work. People call those niches or niches. Any niche will work. Everything is saturated. And what I mean by that is there's somebody already in that space. There's nothing out there that someone isn't already doing or talking about. But what you can do is you can use your unique experiences and situations in order to stand out and be unique. For example, I'm not the only person that's ever had twins. Not the only person that's ever had twins at the age of 35. But my experiences are different than other people, and I can build a following and a community based on my experiences alone. So just because you're interested in something that someone else is already talking about doesn't mean that there isn't space for you. In fact, I would argue that if you are talking about it and you're just getting in, your level of knowledge and understanding in how you can speak to people is going to be much different than someone that's been in the game for, 10 years. For example, when I talk about online business and affiliate marketing and making money online, things like that, sometimes I make the mistake of talking or speaking at too high of a level. And someone that's just getting into the game is going to talk at a lower level to connect and communicate better with other people that are just getting started. So don't think that just because someone else is already in it, there are probably tens of thousands of people already in whatever it is that you want to talk about, doesn't mean that there isn't space for you. I used to say all the time that I don't believe in saturation because we can use our knowledge, skills, and experience to differentiate ourselves from other people. And that's what I would encourage you to do. Use your knowledge, skills, and experiences to make yourself different and stand out. And don't worry about if there are already 1,000 people already talking about your thing. With social media now, with TikTok, you can get into a highly saturated market and stand out. What I would tell you to do is if you want to get into a competitive market, have a new take, a different take on a topic that's been discussed over and over again. For example, there are millions of courses out there, millions of videos out there, people telling you how to make money online with Pinterest. Very simple thing that you can do is take one of those videos of a well-known YouTuber and try that process for 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, and report your results. That is a new spin on an old topic. That's something that's been covered thousands of times, but your perspective is a little bit different. So the first thing that I would tell you to do is make a list of 10 things that you like to talk about: interests, hobbies, passions, even work experience, because there are other people out there that want your job or want a job similar to yours, and so you can actually create content to help with that. So once you have that, next you can make a list of questions and answers that you already know. Make a list of problems that people are going through. So for example, if I were to get into basketball and I wanted to talk about NBA basketball, I could either talk about the history of NBA basketball, because there's new people getting into NBA basketball all the time that don't know the history. They don't know the starting point. We could do player comparisons. So we could actually crunch the numbers and do a statistical analysis and give you a real life comparison of the best players to ever play the game. You can report the news. Also, what I would say, a real simple thing that you can do is hop on things that are new and trending. The great thing about something like the NBA or the MLB is they've got new games, new information essentially all the time. And so you can jump in and start talking about things that are new and trending. You can always look at news articles, and you can summarize and synthesize different news articles and give your opinion, give your take, give your thoughts on those things. There's always a way to enter into a market. Anyway, what I would do is make a list of questions people have, problems that they're facing. If I were to get into the wedding niche, we could start creating content or helping people that only have $5,000, help them still have the perfect wedding. And if someone only has $5,000 to have the perfect wedding, they're going to need to do a lot of that stuff themselves. So you can do DIY table numbers. You can do DIY bridal gifts. You can do DIY save the dates. You can actually help people and show people those things, teach people how to do those things. There's always a way in, right? So make a list, 5, 10, 20 at most, the questions that people have, the problems that people are going through within what you want to be known for. Once you have that, you can start thinking about the different ways to monetize. In my opinion, the best way to monetize is, if you're just getting started, is affiliate marketing first. That's recommending other people's products and services. And the reason why I think affiliate marketing is a great way to go to get started is because you don't need to create your own product. You can partner with companies that are already established. You can partner with products and promote products that have already proven to work. One of the drawbacks of creating your own products, especially digital products, is that you might spend a bunch of time creating a thing and nobody wants that thing. That's not a good product market fit. So one of the first things you can do is you can partner with a company like Amazon and then promote those different products and services, products that they offer. But a real simple thing, affiliate marketing. And I think this is where a lot of people fall off. If you're going to do affiliate marketing first, I think you should start with the product. And the reason why I think you should start with the product is because it is closest to the sale, right? And I'm just going to illustrate this for you. When people are searching who, what, when, where, why, and how, they don't know what they don't know. And they don't know what they know. They think they know what they know, but they don't know. So for example, if someone says like how to have a wedding, they type in how to have a wedding. That's like a very generic thing. And there's many components into planning a wedding, how to plan the perfect wedding, right? There's many steps, many components. But if someone is searching about a specific problem or a specific product, you can create content to answer that. For example, this microphone, this is a Rode Wireless Go 2. If someone is searching about this microphone, they know what their problem is and they know what the solution is. They know that they want to create better content, or they may want to create content on the go like I am. And so if they're creating content on the go, they need a wireless microphone that works pretty well. It's well known. It transmits. There aren't any issues. Compare that to someone that doesn't know that they need a microphone. They're going to say something like how to shoot YouTube videos in public, right? That's a very generic question, which could lead to an answer, which could lead to an affiliate commission, but the chances are is the person that asked that question initially is going to need to do more research. So a person will say like how to shoot YouTube videos in public. They're going to watch a video that gives them a step-by-step guide. Inside one of those steps is to get a wireless microphone. And so now they've got to ask another question. What are the best wireless microphones for beginners? Or what are the best wireless microphones for shooting YouTube videos in public? They're going to go through, they might, out of a list of 5 or 10, they might like 2 or 3. Then they might do another search. Best wireless microphones under $300. They might see a list of 3 or 4. Then they're going to do more research. But if you create content at the bottom of the funnel, you create content here where you're talking about this Rode Wireless Go 2, they already know the problem. They already know the solution. They just want to make sure it's going to meet their needs. That's why you want to create product-focused content first if you're doing affiliate marketing. If you're selling your own digital products, you can kind of do things a little bit differently. But if you're doing affiliate marketing, create products, create content that solves a problem based on a product or service that they're interested in. And this can work for, hopefully I didn't lose myself here, and this can work for products or services. It works very well for like web hosting, Bluehost. It works very well for Go High Level. People are always searching and asking questions about Go High Level. And so you can create content teaching people, showing people what you can and cannot do. So anyway, affiliate marketing is a good place to start. If you're going to, so what I would encourage you to do is if you're going to do affiliate marketing, make 5 or 10 videos about a very specific problem or product. Make 5 videos about this Rode Wireless Go 2. And the reason is anytime someone searches, the chances of your video coming up are pretty high. You're creating kind of like a wheel and spoke. So the main product is this Wireless Go 2, and you've got 5 videos linked to that keyword. You can, the chances of you getting seen are much better than just creating one video and then moving on to the next thing. So you could create one video talking about giving a review. You could do a, unboxing, review, setup, first impressions, a 6-month review, is it still worth it? The best features. You could actually do like frequently asked questions as well. You've got 5 videos there. After that, you can start creating other videos that are related to the Wireless Go 2. But that's how I would get started. If you're going to do something else, maybe digital product, maybe membership, which is okay, they're also good places to start. Make sure you understand the customer's problem and create content to solve the problem. I saw a video, someone commented on one of my videos that time wasn't the problem. I'd made a video about, I said in the video, it was about finding the time to create content. The person replied, time isn't the problem, the content is. Content's the easy part. Now, making good content can be a challenge, and the best way to do that is to practice it. It's a skill. The best way to do that is to make a bunch of content. But again, you just need to identify the questions that people are asking. And there's a number of ways to do it. One way is you can go over to People Also Ask. So type in a question regarding your niche. We'll say, if we're talking about basketball, who are the tallest basketball players in the NBA? Type that into Google. And then inside of Google, if we scroll down a little bit, it'll have a section called People Also Ask. Those are questions that people are also asking related to your initial niche. And you could create videos to answer that question. Create content to answer that question. All you're doing as a digital marketer, as an internet marketer, is you're creating content to solve a problem. That's it. No more, no less. You're creating content to answer a question. Your target audience has a question, they have a need, and you're going to fill that need. That's all you got to do. Online business is simple. It's not easy, and anyone that tells you it's easy is lying to you and maybe just trying to sell you something. But online business is simple. You just identify a problem and You either create the solution or you point people to the solution because they don't know what the solution is. The challenge is being consistent, doing it every single day, when you don't feel like it, when you don't want to, when you're tired, when you've worked all day, when your kids are getting on your nerves. That's the challenge. And being critical of yourself. Oftentimes, there's a fine line between being critical and just like being down and mean on yourself. If you can be critical and work to improve video after video, you'll find success. But if you don't believe that you're doing anything wrong, then you're going to struggle. But one simple thing that you can do is ask yourself, when you create a video, would you buy from you? That's a very simple but powerful question that you can ask. Would you buy from you? Oftentimes, in the past, before AI got really good, people would comment on my videos and say, I'm making content every single day, but I haven't earned any sales, any commissions. And the reason is they're creating content that they in fact would not buy. I would go look at their YouTube channel or their content, and it was like that robotic AI junk that was 2 minutes long, and it was just not good videos. And then when I would go back and ask them, would you buy from you? And oftentimes they would say, no, I wouldn't buy based on this content. And so you've got to realize that people are on the internet are smart and they're skeptical because they've been burned in the past. If you aren't creating the type of content that would compel you to buy, there's absolutely no reason why anybody else would buy it either. People aren't suckers, and if you treat them like suckers, they're not going to buy from you. So yeah, if I had to start all over, I simply would identify one question, one problem that people have. I'd write down all of the sub-problems in it, and I would start creating content. I would create content. I'd create long-form content on YouTube because it's search-based, but then I would create short-form content on TikTok. Take the questions that people are having, the pain points, goals, dreams, desires, things that they're thinking but afraid to say out loud, and create content around those things. Ask questions, challenge their traditional thinking, traditional way of thought, and then engage. And you can start earning commissions and building sales and all of that stuff. But that's what I would do. I would put my head down. I would start creating content, start working hard until I run into a roadblock. The other thing, and I don't want this to turn into a rant, but a lot of people will run into a roadblock, a hurdle. There's a difference between hurdle and roadblock. A lot of people will run into a hurdle and then immediately throw their hands up and say they can't do it. The thing that frustrates me about that is you're not the first person to ever start an online business. You're not the first person to ever want to make money online. And chances are, the roadblock and hurdle that you're running into is something that somebody has solved before. In fact, many times before. And so if they were able to solve it, and I can guarantee you, I can assure you, I've met a lot of people in this space. These people aren't brilliant. They don't have this insider knowledge secret. They just had perseverance. They were able to keep going even when times got tough. They were able to focus. That's really the biggest difference, is that the people that were successful were able to focus longer than the other people that got started with them. They were able to focus even when things were going poorly. And if you can just focus longer than everyone else, focus on one task, get good at one thing, and then you can be successful. All right, so this video is getting a little long. My plan is to create more videos like this, where I'm just sitting down, talking to you, answering questions, to try and provide assistance where I can to help move you forward. I'm going to try and do this at a more basic foundational level so that anybody and everybody can get started. Over the last few weeks, I've done a lot of technical things, and I think that scared some people away because, they're thinking, oh, great, another new thing for them to learn, another new thing for me to learn. I got to learn how to make money online, and I've got to learn how to use AI. When you don't have to use AI at all to be successful. Anyway, if you're still watching, thank you. Thanks. Like, comment, follow, share, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.